busy, got no energy to ask about my moods. But a brief interaction of so much more attraction than the thought of losing you. I don't really have any choice. Loud if I hear your voice in my dream, in my dream. I told you to run away when I wanted you to stay safe in my dreams, but only in my dreams.
Mark's Conte reporting, listening to a little Patient O. That's Tessa Majors' band, listening to In My Dreams. In My Dreams, apparently recorded in 2019, recently recorded, released on September 6, 2019. Patient O. My peoples. That's who I'm talking about here. These guys, peoples is my peoples. I hated to be right about this. That it was racially motivated. I told you that when the kids, the cops had the right story in the beginning, that it was young kids. They ran into the projects. They lived in the projects. I told you it was going to be racially motivated, right? And sure enough, it is. So they got two of them, right? They got two of the kids. Right, there's a third one. It's the only thing I had it wrong was 3, as opposed to 4. Originally, the report was that 4 young kids did it, and now we're learning pretty solidly that it was 3 kids. So here's the uncle. They're young kids. They're the one kid that they had first. His name is Zyairr Davis, 13 years old, and he was busted with apparently he had 2 friends that were 14. One of them they have in custody. One of them is still at large. But there you go. There's the uncle. I mean, is he? What color is he? What freaking color is he? This is Manhattan Criminal Court, Manhattan Family Court. They won't even be tried in criminal court. It's a family case. It's, right? These kids are going to sit in. They're going to sit in confinement till about 18 years old, and then they're going to let them out the door again. I mean, that is the sad reality of it. But the fact is, here it is. This is the teen's uncle, Roosevelt Davis. I mean, this is not I'm not trying to incriminate the guy at all. It's the New York Post reporting, and I'm just reporting on my observation. He is a black man from Harlem. He's probably a very nice man. He probably is not a racist, but nonetheless, systemic racism, that it's inherent in young people, that they pick up on it. It's true. So let's read. Two middle schoolers aged 13 and 14 were busted in the fatal stabbing of Barnard College freshman Tessa Majors during a robbery gone wrong in Morningside Park, law enforcement said. The 13-year-old boy, Zyairr Davis, was nabbed in the lobby of a building near the Upper Manhattan sleigh scene Thursday afternoon, a day after the grisly murder, sources said. The second suspect was picked up on Friday with charges pending. A third remained at large. So you can almost guarantee that they hang out together, right? What do they hang? Oh, we're gonna find out that it's some intellectual Chinese kid that just he felt like hanging out with a bunch of guys sitting in the park ready to rob somebody, or some white kid. I'm sorry. You're gonna find out that they're all black, that they live in a nice area. I don't know. They didn't really say where they lived. Manhattan's funny like that. You could be on a bad block and the building is beautiful and such, or you could be 2 blocks away and you have very wealthy people and 2 blocks away is the ghetto. I mean, that's just the way Manhattan is. So we don't have those facts, but we do know that. What else? When he was nabbed, Davis was still wearing the same outfit, including red sneakers he allegedly wore during the slaying, At the boy's appearance in Manhattan Family Court on Friday, an NYPD detective testified that Davis had confessed to his involvement in an attack on Majors and that the youth had described seeing feathers come out of her jacket as a result of the vicious slashing. He stated that he entered the park with two of his friends. The purpose of going into the park that day was to commit a robbery, said Detective Vincent Cigaretti. Vincent Cigaretti. Who, it's not funny, right? I shouldn't be making fun. Who helped interview Davis at the 26th Precinct Station House. They followed a man with the intention of robbing him, the detective said. And that's common at the arraignment. The detective takes the stand and I'm 100% that they recorded the interrogation. 100% they recorded the interrogation. We'll see that down the road. Well, we'll hear about it. If you're sitting in court, you'll see it. Law enforcement, or maybe not. It might be a closed court. But you can almost guarantee that there is a recording. Law enforcement sources said the three boys, Davis and two 14-year-old classmates, all of whom attended PS 180 near the park, got spooked by something and ended up not mugging the man, instead turning their sights on Major. Let's just look at this for a second. So here's the map again, right? Here's PS 180, right? It's a school over here. Again, here's the park. Here's Columbia University. Here's Barnard College up here, right? Barnard College, this is Columbia, right? And Morningside Park is right here. This is the entrance at 180. The object for the deceased, Miss Majors, was to cross the park right here, 116. And you see that they went to the school also. So underprivileged, right? So underprivileged. They got a nice school. Look, there's a basketball court in the backyard. How many high schools? My high school didn't have no basketball court in the backyard. It's a nice neighborhood. Harlem is a nice place. I told you I patrolled all over Harlem. Every day I would come and drive around here, in a patrol car, literally, sanitation patrol car. So I'm sorry, I digress. So that's the scene of the where the two kids went to school. It's 100% that they were buddies. They'll get the last kid. Right. So Davis recalled that one of his pals dropped a knife before the trio pounced on Majors. Signoretti said, the detective. Mr. Davis picked up the knife and handed it back to his friend, and then Davis watched his friend grab the victim, put her in a chokehold, and removed items from her pocket, the detective said. The boy swiped Majors' bag, and one snarling, "Give me the phone," a source said. Police later recovered Majors' phone nearby and used it to identify her, according to police. Davis then saw the victim get stabbed, Signoretti said. He saw feathers come out of her jacket, and then all three men ran out of the park, and they went home. Majors' futility tried to fight off the attackers. She tried to fight off the attackers. There's the entrance of the park. Davis said one of her friends told him that Tessa Majors bit him on the finger. So she was fighting back. She's getting wrestled by three young kids. She takes a bite out of one of their fingers, right? And then the kid takes a knife out and lays into her. Majors was rushed to Mount Sinai St. Luke's, where she died of stab wounds to the face, neck, and under her armpit. Stabbed her right in the heart, man. Got her right in the heart. Over this side. Davis said the boys had pulled off another robbery days earlier. Man. Say, you just let them go, right? They're criminals. They're goddamn criminals. The 5'5", 110-pound boy gave detectives two first names of his accomplices, and one of the 14-year-old boys was taken into custody on Friday, sources said. The other 14-year-old boy was still at large. Sources said Davis was interviewed at the station house in the presence of his legal guardian and uncle, Roosevelt Davis, who also was in court with him, as was an aunt. The boy's mother died in 2016, according to neighbors. It's a single, not even a single mother. He lives with his uncle. Davis, who lived a few blocks from the crime scene around West 116th and Morningside Drive, bit his bottom lip and looked on nervously before his appearance in the court, where he was dressed in a navy blue sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and black and white Air Jordan sneakers. That's a nice way to show up to court. With your sneakers on. Yeah. He was charged with murder and ordered held without bail. Good. Asked by a court officer if he swore to tell the truth during the hearing, the boy replied, "I swear." The officer asked him to repeat it, saying he couldn't hear him. "I swear," the boy repeated more loudly. "My name is Zyairr Davis, and I'm 13. That's what he said. "My name is Zyairr Davis, and I'm 13. Surveillance footage shows the trio entering the park, but there is no footage of the slaying, the detective said. The video helped cops nail Davis, sources said. Police canvassed the area after Majors' death, spotted Davis in the lobby of a building near the scene, noticing that his clothes were the same as one of the suspects in the video. They picked him up for loitering, found the knife on him, and brought him in for questioning, where he allegedly confessed, sources said. It was unclear whether the knife was the murder weapon. Sources said Davis did not appear to have any prior arrests. A neighbor of Davis said he was stunned by the teen's arrest. "I knew his mom before she passed," said Raymond Sears, 46, adding that the boy had been close with his mother. "He's just a normal person," said Sears, a food service worker. "Anytime I came by, I'm like, 'Yo, what's going on, shorty?' He hangs out, he smokes weed, just a normal person in my eyes. He never seemed like a violent person. He always seemed like a calm individual. He was a good kid. I don't know what got him involved in this shit." Brett Holtz, a junior psychology major at nearby Columbia University, called Majors' murder sad, really sad. This is the finals time. All right, a bunch of other stories, a bunch of other stuff. So what else can we look at? So here's some other photographs. There's a shot of her playing bass. Let's look at that. There's a lot of heartbreak on the campus. That's expected. Yeah, so I mean, her voice to me sounds like the Go-Go's. If I know people that probably know their music, sound like a mix between the Go-Go's, early '80s kind of that. I don't want to say Deborah Harry, but Blondie, but certainly I don't know. The Go-Go's come to mind, and but the band doesn't really sound like the Go-Go's. Hey, listen, man, you got to make light of this, right? You got to celebrate the life of the person, right? And let's try to make this not fucking happen again, right? But what is the problem? What are we gonna do? Say, oh, they're so underprivileged? No, you got to reverse this. You got to reverse this this black racism shit. That white people are the devil. That they're blue-eyed devils. I'm telling you, it's real. I told you my story when I was walking around in the park with the kids that I taught guitar to in the church, and the kid was doing the young girl was doing her homework, and in the homework, she was doing history, where she was writing the story of how the white man came and enslaved the Indians and killed them and took their land and took their possessions. That's what's going on here, right? You still got this systemic racism shit. The Democrats are not helping. They're fueling the fire with all these ridiculous ideas that somehow only white people are racist. It's real. Open your goddamn eyes, right, and see it, right? It's very real. All you have to do is ask white people, do you feel discriminated against being white, do you? That's all you got to do is ask them. And most people in confidence, if you did a closed kind of survey where they could check it off without a name attached, they would tell you that they do feel it, that there is a sense of black racism against whites. That was the point. That's why this story caught my eye, because if you don't address it there, in my view, you're not addressing anything. You're not getting to the root of the problem at all. So Marcus Conte reporting. Let's let the music take us out.
You're so drained that you can hardly even entertain yourself.